Hi, folks. A little morning conversation with you as the snow is falling. I wanted to talk about the blizzard of 1888. And it's the 130th anniversary of the blizzard of 1888 this month. It happened between March the 11th to March the 14th, in which there was about 55 inches of snow ended up in New York City, totally crippling the city. They didn't have any kind of materials to move the snow that much in those days. Also, in those days, you also had the rudimentary telephones and rudimentary setups for the telegraphs. And every telegraph, every telephone had its own dedicated line. So you can understand it was like a massive spider web in the 1880s in New York City. And in that storm, which had horrifically high winds, averaging about 45, 50 miles an hour, they all broke. They froze, they broke, and communication became an impossibility. About 400 people were killed in those terrible storms for 3 days. They kind of referred to it as a winter hurricane. It seemed very much like that. And of course, the snow came, and it came, and it came, and it had been mild for a few days before that. And then all hell broke loose. And today I'm filming this, looking outside and seeing what is our fourth nor'easter. And we've had a mess of them, I must tell you. And this will be the last, I would imagine, since it is March the 21st today, 10 days past the 130th anniversary of the beginning of the blizzard of 1888. It's an interesting thing that there was a politician who was the head of the Stalwarts. His name was Roscoe Conklin. And Conklin was a headstrong individual, not a very easy person to deal with, but no one ever told him what to do. And he was in New York when that storm started, and the storm was not going to stop him. And so he marched right through it. Well, he marched through some of it. He collapsed in what is called Union Square Park and taken home and died. He was one of the 400 that died in that dreadful storm in New York. Now, of course, it was on the East Coast. It went all over the place, but New York City was severely hit. And of course, being that you have the buildings and stuff like that, it's kind of a difficult thing. High winds. You have these massive piles of snow from the high winds. It took a long time for New York to get over it. But nonetheless, it was 130 years ago. And we get all upset about our nor'easters, and I must tell you, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to the insanity and the absolute horror of the blizzard of 1888. One of the storms that made New York City just stop in its tracks, and also would change certain things. After the storm, everyone understood that wires up ahead in New York City could not be. And also, Edison was very instrumental as well as putting wires under the ground. He did that for his lighting system in 1882. But a lot of the telegraph stuff was all above ground, but after 1888, everyone said, let's put it underground. And that's why when you go to New York City today, 130 years after that storm, you will notice there aren't wires above New York City. It's all underneath, a direct result of that great storm of 1888.